It's the bigger one, people. Arsenal versus Manchester City today, live on Sky Sports. And I'm excited. As a football fan, as a neutral, your host of the Football Terrace community, I am buzzing about this game. So many questions are going to be answered. The title race, in many people's eyes, doesn't kick off until the last 10 games. And I can understand that logic. The home straight, if you were. But the race really does begin now. The home straight is in the last 10 games. But the foundation, the position that you create for yourself to make that dash in the home straight to try and pick up that medal, that gold medal, starts now. The international break is about to unfold. We all hate the international break. I know we do. We hate it. The final game before an international break, whether you're playing one of the best teams in the world or a minnow, you want to win it. Manchester City, yes, they won in the Champions League midweek. Very, very strong performance against Leipzig. But 2 back-to-back defeats prior to that. No Rodri again for this game. No KDB. Haaland, although he is the Premier League's top goal scorer, isn't firing anywhere near the same level as he was last year. And there's some question marks over them. And it always feels a little bit silly putting question marks over Man City because they are the best team in the world. And they have been for the past 2 to 3 years. They are the treble winners. They're one of the greatest teams that England has ever had. But there are some question marks over them right now. Fair sporting question marks. Can Arsenal exploit it? When it comes down to, and I want to get an answer. Do any of you think Arsenal can exploit it today? Let me know now in the comment section right now. Of course, hit like buttons, by the way, subscribe and follow us on TikTok. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link below. Can Arsenal exploit it? That's the question. Can Arsenal win? Can Arsenal finally beat Man City? Look at this record here. The only victories have been in the FA Cup and Community Shield since December 2015. It's a long time. I was scrolling through it. I'm still looking through it now. December 2015, a 2-1 win at the Emirates. They also won that same season, but sorry, they won the previous season away at the Etihad 2-0. But it's an horrendous record since. 2-0 win in the FA Cup. 1-1 in the Community Shield this season, which they went on to win on penalties. They beat them 2-1 in the FA Cup in 2017 as well. And there's been a couple of draws along the way. But outside of that, Manchester City have dominated this fixture. It's a huge day for Arsenal. You know, like I do, that Arsenal have turned a corner. Arsenal are on the road to big, big successes. This team, in my opinion, will yield big trophies, more FA Cups, and they have a massive opportunity if they keep developing to win a Prem and to win their first ever Champions League. Nothing's a guarantee, but I think they will win more major trophies. There is just a feeling, there is an emotion, there is a quality about this side. Winning this game today is maybe one of the biggest gateway moments they've had in the past 2 to 3 years. Breaking this hoodoo, stopping this rut. And not only that, putting themselves into a better position than they were they were this time last year. If we look at the league table at this stage last year, Arsenal actually had 21 points. So you would say, well, Terry, they win today. How is it a better position than last year? Because we can only get on to 20 points. Well, the reason it would be a better position than last year is that you'd actually be 2 points ahead of Manchester City. And although we all do this at times, we look at our total points and say whether we're better or worse than last season. football isn't an exact science. If you're 2 points ahead of the favorites versus only 1 point ahead of them a year ago, you're in a better position. The other reason this is big for Arsenal is they've started the Champions League with a really good win and a poor defeat, but they're in the Champions League. They've made it through to the third round of the Carabao Cup. Defensively, it has been a much better start to the season as compared to last year. So the majority of the kind of underlying metrics, the progression in most tournaments is better than last season. They're also controlling games much better. Win today, and I believe this will inject Arsenal with even more confidence. I believe the fans will become more relaxed than they've been in recent weeks. The fans have become a little bit of a problem, a little too negative and a little bit too anxious, especially at the Emirates. They have to learn to relax. But the team have got to help them get there by winning these gateway games, winning these matches that they're about more than 3 points. It's about breaking down mental barriers. And if Arsenal do this, they put themselves into such a strong position in these early fledgling stages of the title race. The question is, can they do it? Will they do it? I'm going to come to that in a few moments, so stay with me on that. I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes. Let's look at this here. This is this season. At the top, shots conceded, opportunities conceded versus shots taken. City concede less opportunities than Arsenal, and they have more attempts on goal than Arsenal. These are facts. City go into this game, in my opinion, the favourites. They do. They concede less chances. They attempt more shots. They score more goals. They are the better team. And their record home and away against Arsenal in not just the last couple of seasons, in the last 8 years is dominant. They go into this the favourites. There is a notion that's been created that all the pressure is upon Arsenal. And I understand that. And I actually think to a large extent it is. But that's if Arsenal allow the narrative to be controlled. From their point of view, today is a battle. Yes, there's could be tactics and formations. Today is going to come down to mentality. Do Arsenal believe they can do it? How do Arsenal handle this pressure? If both teams are at their optimum best, City win. So what Arsenal need to do today, and this does happen on occasions, is they need to have superior mentality and they have to outperform City. They have to do both these things at exactly the same time. Now, you'll say, Terry, that's normal. You can't beat a team without outperforming them. No, you can sometimes smash and grab. You can sometimes have a bad day and sneak a win. But that isn't how Arsenal are going to beat City today because of the history, because of who they're playing, what it means for the title race. They're going to have to be perfect in almost every area. And even if they face a bad moment, they face adversity, they can see the goal, belief has got to ensue. They have to, it's up here because everything else is against them. Statistically, historically, and overall quality lies with City. So they have to be stronger. They have to run through brick walls and they have to play maybe even slightly above themselves and put in a season best performance. Now, you know as well as I do that most rivals are fearful of what Arsenal are becoming. I've never seen the celebration police come out like they do against Arsenal. I've never seen a team improve like Arsenal and it be played down. I then watch Spurs, who rightfully should be praised at the moment, get lauded for an 8-9 game run, which has also seen them drop out of a cup competition. And the praise that Big Ange and Spurs are getting versus what Arsenal were, the barrage of abuse they were getting last year was crazy. It triggered me, and it still does to this day. It makes no sense. And today's a massive day for Arsenal and Arteta to shut this down. But remember who they're playing. And I am not writing City off ever. City, of course, can win this game. City, of course, in most people's eyes, will win this game. And it's also huge for them because it would mean if we look at the league table, at this stage around 18 points and go on to 21, it would be a better start than last year. So it's been an impeccable start for them up until that Wolves game. An incredible start. And they're going to want to end this section of the Premier League before the international break on a high. They want to damage Arsenal further because they do see Arsenal as a threat. Now, City, I believe in their fan base. They're the only fan base out there that don't fear Arsenal. But today could be a day where they put that fear in them. Today could be the day that Man City wake up and go, Arsenal genuinely are a threat. We're a little scared of them. We're a little fearful of what they might be able to do. They can get inside their heads. We know they feel that way about City. City feel that way about Liverpool. They've admitted that. Liverpool did this, we'd feel. Lewis said it on the Top 6 show. If it's Liverpool, we feel differently because we know what they can do. Arsenal have got to stick that psychological seed into their minds, and they do that by beating them today. I asked a question a few minutes ago, can they do it? I want your score predictions below. My head says 2-2. My head says 2-2 today. Desmond 2-2, a draw. Can't get that scoreline out of my head. 2-2. It's going to be 2-2, Terry. But then I have a feeling in here in my gut, that's saying Arsenal might nick this. So my prediction I'm going to go with 3-2 to Arsenal. I still see City as the favourites to win the Premier League, mind. That won't change today. But I think Arsenal are going to do it. 3-2 Arsenal's my prediction. I want yours below. It's going to be an epic game, whatever happens. Two of the best teams in Europe going head-to-head. Arsenal being one of the best. City being not just the best, one of the best in Europe. City are the best team in the world. It's going to be an epic encounter. Make sure you're tuning into the Football Terrace live afterwards for the aftermath and the full fan highlight show. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.